guys, welcome back to another R Factor 2 video. Recently the Nola Motorsports Park was released on the game, so I thought I'd give it a little test drive in one of the INDY cars. Really like this car, enjoy the handling on it, it feels nice, a lot of grip, really chuck it about, using pretty much the default set. We're going to start our lap on this track. I'm going to go through a quick little track guide with this car. We're going to look out for the 400 metre road. I'm going to brake just past that, going down into second gear. Be careful not to hit that curb, it can really unsettle the car. Getting on the power nice and early, going flat out through that corner. Then we're going to look to brake around the 300 yard board there, braking down into second gear. We want to take a nice early entry into that corner, stay tight in on it. Our setup was not the best, but we managed to keep it reasonably tight there, and then back down to second gear as we chuck it into this right hand, and be patient on the throttle before you put the maximum power in. And then going into this right hander, we're going to use some of the curb on the right hand side and the left. You see there, that seems to be the line that a lot of the AI were taking over that curb. Going down into second gear and then using some of the curb again on the exit. Just be careful not to use too much, as you can get a bit of vibration through the suspension damage if you're a bit aggressive on this game on the curb. Going flat out through this fast little kink now, and then we're going to look again, we're going to look to brake between the 400 and 300 board on the left, and we're going to brake down into third and then second gear, as you see now, then second gear as we approach the apex. Hard over that curb, a little bit too aggressive, trying to stay nice and tight on the inside, and then on the power, little squirt of the power, just trying to hold the line now through this corner, and then hard on the power over the line. And we're going to go, we actually ran a little bit wide on that exit there, lost us maybe a 10%, but this was our final qualifying lap we had. As you see, the checker flag was out and we managed to take pole position for the race against the AI. The AI were only on 110%, they weren't maxed out, as never raced on this track before in my life, and I've never driven this car on this game. I've not driven many cars at all yet. Another thing to note with regards to the video is I don't know why it recorded itself into a different app and it seemed to be a bit stuttery, but the actual race recorded really well. There's no issues, I don't think, anyway. You can see there we just about took pole by the slightest of margins. So starting the race, starting behind the safety car. We actually did a race before this, we were in the lead going into the last lap, and I had underfueled the car because I didn't take into account the formation lap. Annoyingly, and I ran out of fuel on the second to last bend, and I was really gutted because I was in the lead by about 2 seconds, I think it was, 1.5 2 seconds. But this race decided to just skip the formation lap, which actually cost me, you'll see now. We just press spacebar and skip it and start the race from this point. It does a little skip here and changes gear, and I'm in the wrong gear. I down geared it wrongly there. Back into fourth gear, we tried to get this slipstream to make sure we didn't lose any more places. So going into the first bend, we're going to look out on the right, be careful of the AI. We've managed to get the AI a little bit more dialed into how I'd like it now, and they seem aggressive enough without being suicidal. It's actually really fun to play this game now. I'm really starting to like R Factor 2. You don't need amazing graphics for an amazing game. This game just drives so nice. As you can see from this video now, we're going to chase down this first place guy and try and stay with him basically, because if the AI get ahead, obviously the AI aren't on maximum 120% because I've never driven this track. My setup isn't anywhere near good enough. I actually should have lowered the preload slightly because obviously the track was rubbering in now, and the preload was a little bit too high. I was getting a little bit on the steer where I didn't want it. Maybe I should have lowered that preload and upped the power differential as well, because it was a little bit too safe, and it was costing me a bit of time on a few bends that I'll point out in a minute. But as you can see, we're really attacking these corners, trying to stay with the leader, and we've got third place in our mirror, staying in our mirror there, just keeping us aware that he's there. And it's really, I really love this game, the feeling you get when you're racing the AI. I think this is what I'll do mainly on R Factor 2, is race against the AI. I will go into some online lobbies sometimes once I'm a bit more confident on the game, but at the moment I'm just going to race AI and enjoy the racing, because the racing is really good. I have to say it's much better than Ascetical. As you can see there, the AI made a mistake on that curb. He was getting a bit aggressive. I tried to go down the inside, but he blocked it off, and then we brake a little bit late trying to be aggressive. Now we've got third place right behind us, and he's attacking us there. I managed to just hold that line and then get into this apex nice and early just to defend that line, and I'm not letting that third place get past me. I don't want to lose second place at all in this race. But as you can see there, we lost a little bit of time on that little mistake. Littlest mistakes on this game can cost you big, especially in a car like this where you really need to drive out the corners, and a little error will cost you a good few tenths, and you will have the guy behind you literally itching to get past you, especially with the way the AI is set. They just seem, I now I've dialed them in a lot more correct, they just seem so much better to race against. They're gonna still make mistakes. They're not human beings. They're they're AI drivers, and they can do very stupid things. But once you've got them set to the right level, and one thing I do say is make sure you set a qualifying session. I did a 20-minute qualifying session, and if I would have done it better, I would have actually done a practice session first. You rubber the track in a bit more. They seem to drive a bit better when you rubber the track in. But with the qualifying session in, they definitely do drive better, because obviously you're splitting up the slower AI from the faster AI. So you're going to end up with the faster AI at the front, the slower AI at the back. It's pretty obvious, self-explanatory. But anyway, moving on to more of this race and the track. Track is a really nice flowing track. I've never driven this track before on this game. Obviously with it just being released, but I've never driven it on any other game either. It's not visually an amazing looking track, it's not gonna make you wow at every corner, because it's very much, it reminds me of kind of a British track like Snetterton, where it's very open, just basically like an airfield type track basically. And it's a good track though in terms of the way it flows. I haven't tried the other variations, which are more some of them seem a lot slower pace, more corners in. This version is the GP track, so I chose it for this car because I presume this is the car that the Indy cars race on. I may not be correct there, but that is the presumption I made from it anyway. And it does drive really nice around this track, this car. It's a really enjoyable car to drive around it. I'm going to skip on now to the end of this lap. As you can see there, we're holding our lap times reasonably well, holding on to first place, and we're actually a very small gap to third place, you can see in the distance there. And we're driving reasonably well, considering this is my first ever time racing this track. I wouldn't mind taking a GT3 car around this track actually, one of the other variations. I may have to try that out with the GT3 cars to see how they handle, and also the Nissan. I really like that Nissan GT500, I enjoy driving that car. So far it's one of my favourite cars to drive. I'm starting to understand what you got to do with the settings so now in terms of wheel rotation and stuff when you get to different cars, but it's definitely an enjoyable game, and a game that I'm going to continue to do uploads on. Like I say, it won't be as commonly as Assetto Corsa and other games, but I'm definitely going to be playing. I've already played quite a bit of this game since I've been since I did the Nissan GT race where I had the suicidal AI, but we have sorted that out now, and we've done another race with that car on that track and had a much better race. But I wanted to get this video uploaded with this new track, as I think it's a nice track. It really has got a nice flow to it. You see the way I like this section now, where although I like it, I'm not particularly great at the moment. This right hander that goes into the left and the right, it feels really nice when you hook this up, but you've got to make sure you get on the brakes nice and early here. I'm finding I think I need to actually up my brake pressure slightly, just so I can brake it a little bit later. You can see how you've got to really hold that tight line and get it over to the left, so you can then chuck it into its right. It's a really nice set of corners, but if you get them corners wrong, you will lose a lot of time. The AI will just gain on you instantly, and it'll be the same if you're racing human drivers. Obviously, if you make a mistake, there's literally no chance of taking a wide line on that corner and trying to do a pass on the outside, because there's just no grip on that outside. All the grip is on the inside of the corners there. And then we go through the really fast corner. In this car, it's really nice to drive this corner flat out in 6th gear, no lifting, flat out all the way, 180 miles per hour on the exit. Nice, really nice corner. Enjoyed this track. And you see we're getting very close to the guy in first place. We're braking a little bit late into that corner, but I like to actually flick it in slightly and maintain a tight line. Then you can see I'm trying to squirt the pound, just trying to find grip and any bit of time I can, and it might actually be losing me time because I'm trying a bit too hard. Obviously not 100% up on the track yet. This is our first go. We probably, with a bit of practice, we'll be able to destroy the 110% AI and be a lot closer to 120%. But I think 120%, sorry, or whatever it is, with the open wheel car seems quite fast from what I've tried so far. Much faster than the Nissan GT500, etc. 120% AI on that car doesn't seem as fast as with the open wheel cars, but some of it could be track dependent obviously as well. Interesting to try that car at this track and see how the 120% AI are with that car here. Again, really great little free update, considering it's a free update as well. Obviously a lot of the R factor stuff is free, because I think because you're paying your yearly subscriptions, etc. You get most of the stuff for free, but it's a bargain really when you think about what you're getting and the quality of the physics in this game. It does show you just don't need the amazing graphics to have a great game. I'm really looking forward to when the update comes out to improve the visuals as well. That could, although visuals aren't everything, it's just going to add to what a great game this already is. More visuals as well, just to top it up and polish it up a bit. It just adds that little bit probably. For some people that may, consider they won't play it without having amazing graphics. I'm not that type of person. Graphics don't really affect me too much. If the graphics are good, bonus. If they're not, as long as they're playable and they do their purpose well, which this game really does in terms of what it doesn't need to have better graphics really. It's got the physics right, the tracks are okay, they're enjoyable to drive on. That's the priority for a racing game, I think personally. Although graphics obviously do look good, if they do look good, it can add a little bit of immersion, etc. You see now we're really pushing now. Again, we're pushing hard, but we're not really gaining anything on that leader. We're maintaining second place. We've got a gap to third, a little gap. We actually made a little mistake before. If you've seen on that corner, we went a bit on the grass, and you can see third place has caught us up a fair bit there, and he's in our mirror, and we've actually lost a bit of ground to first place. So we're just going to keep on it and just see if we can get any closer. You can see I'm really trying to find areas to just gain anything we can, pushing as hard as I can. Obviously bearing in mind we've got to be cautious of that guy in third place. If we make any mistakes, he's going to be on our tail. But we're going to go into this right-hander now and try and brake a little bit later. We brake a little bit later, down into second gear, trying to get on the power as early as we can. We got on the power really nicely there, and it looks like the guy in first place has made a little bit of mistake. The rear end looked a bit twitchy coming through that corner, and we gained a bit of time, but we braked a little bit too late. The inside left wheel locked up very slightly, but again he was slow on the throttle, which I had to then back off slightly, and then that loses a bit more time. Going down into second gear, trying to get on the power as early as we can. We're off the line a bit, so the grip's not perfect. Going through into fourth gear, we're going to chuck it into this really fast right hand. I really enjoy these corners. Then down into second gear, chucking it again into the corner, into second gear, hard on the power, and then flat out through these corners. A really nice section that, right from the technical section through to them fast flowing corners. Really enjoy it. Through to this really fast flowing kink in the road there. And then we're going to go down through the gears. You can see now going through into third, then second gear, and we're going to try. We seem to be gaining ever so slightly on this section now. This last section seems to be one of the better sections that I'm gaining on the AI at 110%. But again, that third place guy is sticking to me really closely, so I can't afford to make any errors in this race. You see now we're over the line and we're on our last lap. So this is all about just giving everything we've got, and it can fail or come off. More often than not, you're going to push too hard and make errors, but we're trying our hardest. We really push through that corner, back end got a bit twitchy, we're braking as late as we can. We get quite close, but we lock up that front left, and all that does is invite third place to try and go up that inside there. He's getting a better line. Luckily we stay to the right hand side for this corner, so we defend it well and try and hold a tight line and on the power as early as we can. He had a little luck, but he thought better of it, and that's what I like to see from the AI. They know when not to do something if you get them set properly, although it does take a bit of time to get the percentages right on them. See now we're attacking now, trying to just basically hold off third place now. As I can see, he's in the distance this final lap. We're not going to win this race. I'll do everything I can to basically just stay ahead of the third place guy, as he got a really nice pull out of that corner. He's got my slipstream, but I'm going to brake really late. Going down into second gear, we actually brake a little bit too late, but that gives us a nice tight line into this corner, so he's not going to get past us there. And all we've got to do now is just keep it nice and smooth through these final corners, and we've took a respectable second place against reasonably hard AI on our first ever race at this track, with its first ever race in this car also. Never been on this track on any other game obviously, so it was a really enjoyable track race, and really starting to like this game. I have to recommend it to any of you sim racers out there. If you're not bothered about graphics etc, make sure you get this game. It is, once you get used to it, it's such a nice feeling in the physics. Great driving game. Really enjoy driving the AI as well, so I look forward to doing more of these videos. We're gonna have a little look at the screen now, and I'll show you how close the race was before I go. Only about a second in it in the top there. Anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like if you've enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe for more future videos. Thanks again for watching.